My name's Brian Stickley. I did the PA. I did it for several years for the Carolina Panthers in the stadium there, Old Charlotte Coliseum, the Spectrum Center, and back now at the Bojangles Coliseum for the Charlotte Checkers. I'm a native Charlottean. I was a Charlotte City police officer for years and years, and then when consolidation happened, became a Charlotte-Mecklenburg police officer. And it led to a radio and TV broadcasting career through starting off as a helicopter traffic reporter on the side as a police officer. So that's kind of how I got my start in show business. But I have made a decision that it is time in my life for me to pass the torch onto a younger person. And the Checkers have found a very good one.
I'm Miles Conrad, and I am very excited to be joining the Checkers as the new PA announcer. It started when I was a kid. I grew up in Charlotte. I first fell in love with hockey at a Checkers game in this building. So the Checkers have always held such a special place in my heart. And the announcing part, it's really crazy because, you know, Brian Stickley was the one who really inspired me to get into announcing. Going to Checkers games and Panthers games as a kid, Stickley was the narrator. He was the voice of my childhood memories of sports. And as I got older, it just became more clear to me, wow, how could I get a job like that? That must be the coolest job in the world.
I was a regular attendee of hockey games. I sat right up there in 116 and with a bunch of friends, and we could do Let's Go Checkers better than anybody I've ever heard. A friend of mine named Dino Torres was the director of the operations, the game day show, and he knew I was on radio and did some TV. And they had a PA announcer here who was absolutely fantastic. His name was Jeff Johnson. And that time, he and then we would do the public address from the booth between the penalty boxes. And then we would go on the ice and handle the intermissions as well. Dino came up to my seat and he said, "Man, I'm glad you're here." And I said, "Well, thanks. You tell everybody that." And he said, "No, man." He said, "Jeff's mama has gotten sick and he's had to go to the hospital. I need somebody who can fill in. You think you can do it?" I said, "Sure. You tell me what to do, I can do it." So I had a headset on like we wear today, and Dino was behind me with his microphone. And he said, "You know, read this, do this, read this." And I did. But that's how I got my start with the Charlotte Checkers. And I've enjoyed every moment of it. I mean, just proud to be affiliated with this group, proud to put on the show that I put on, and I hope it shows. I hope people see it and say, you know, this guy really likes what he does. His heart's in it.
Stick has been such a huge part of my life, and to be able to get closer to him this year has really just been huge for me. In other aspects outside of the Checkers, Stickley has always sent good luck texts and always been such a big supporter. He is the legendary voice of a lot of Charlotte sports, but he's an even better person. There's nobody you would rather want in your corner than Stick, and to be stepping into his shoes and to have his stamp of approval is one of the greatest honors of my life. He's going to be missed, but I could not be more excited to continue his legacy and hope that there's a lot of he shoots, he scores this year.
Checkers fans are good people. They're good people, and they love the team. There's been young guys that are playing youth hockey, and they would come with their dad. I think you treat people the way you want to be treated. And I would treat those little boys like they were more important than I ever was. And the father told me one time, I'm getting a little emotional. The father told me one time, he says, "I'll tell you how much I appreciate you treating my boys the way you did." I said, "Certainly." But, you know, Sharon and Marcus Plyler have sat beside me 25 years, right down on the ice. Luther Fincher, the former fire chief, longtime friend. He's been a great, great Checkers fan. Guys we used to sit up there with before I started working, they're still coming to these games. One of them's on a cane, the other one's on a walker. they're still coming, and they stop by and say hello. So yeah, fans, I consider them friends, and I'll miss them. I'll miss them.